In a post-apocalyptic world where humanity has eradicated itself through nuclear warfare, humans are left to scavenge whatever is left of this ruined world in order to survive. Our main protagonist travels in an abandoned city where he stumbles across a rarity, a robot girl. Introducing Yumemi Hoshino, a lone robot girl in charge of an old planetarium, where for once a year, electricity makes this facility operational, but the projector for the exhibit is broken. And yet, despite this, Yumemi patiently waits for the next humans to visit the planetarium, in which no one has visited for over 30 years. We are going to be taking a look at a visual novel that, while short in length, packs a punch in impact and emotion. Today, we will take a look at Planetarium, the Reverie of a Little Planet. One of the spectacular things about Planetarium is how effective its storytelling is, given its short length. The visual novel is on the shorter end of the spectrum of visual novel length, taking from 2 hours to 10 hours to complete. It's an entirely self-contained story from start to end, and is a good introduction to visual novels to be able to get into. What's also significant is that Planetarium is produced by developer Key. Key is well known in the visual novel industry and has produced visual novels such as Clannad, Rewrite, and Little Busters. Key has also created anime productions such as Clannad and Clannad After Story, Angel Beats, and Charlotte. And if you've read or watched a Key production before, you will know that they are very good at being tearjerkers. If you want to sit back and enjoy a short story that has all of the qualities of a classic Key visual novel, Planetarium will suit your needs. As you can tell from the visuals and UI, Planetarium is very modest and simple. With a UI that is very clean with no unnecessary distractions, the only visuals shown are the atmospheric CGs that incorporate a nice touch of visual effects and showing off Yumemi's various happy expressions.
当館解説員の星野ゆめみと申します。
なんだそれは。
花束です。ご来館の記念にどうぞお受け取りください。
Speaking subjectively, I think Yumemi's character design is very good. Her sprites show off her kind-hearted personality well, and I believe it's a unique and memorable design for a Key character. The soundtrack is concise and purposeful. Centered around the theme of the visual novel, all of the tracks use the space and the stars as its backdrop, using instruments to create a deeply electronic, ambient, and tranquil style. From its whimsical and earnest nature of metronome, to the thought-provoking and contemplative melody of Gentle Gina, to the morose and desolate sounding piece of Perfectly Human, all of the tracks perfectly land the tone and atmosphere of Planetarium. With the production out of the way, let's move on to the characters. Our nameless protagonist is known as a junker, a scavenger who drifts between cities in order to survive. And if living day to day wasn't hard enough, he has to defend against war machines and other junkers that may pose a threat. He has a cynical and tough personality, worn down by the state of the world that he lives in, where his only joys in life are cigarettes, alcohol, and the mere thought that he can live another day.
The apocalypse was simply the prologue to another bloody chapter of human history. For man had succeeded in destroying the world. But war never changes.
He discovers the abandoned planetarium as he mistakes it for a military facility, and he is greeted by quite the saleswoman.
あなたはちょうど250万人目のお客様です。申し訳ありません。本当に申し訳ありません。本当は違うんです。お客様は本当はちょうど249万7288番目のお客様なんです。
Yumemi Hoshino is a kind-hearted robot girl extremely dedicated to her job as the storyteller of the stars. Yumemi has a whimsical and joyful personality and is quite talkative, much to the annoyance of the main protagonist.
黙れ、口を聞くな、頼むから静かにしてくれ。
はい、承知しました。お客様、静かにする前に、私からも一つだけお願いがあるのですが。
Yumemi is the perfect example of the ideal employee of the month, always working to help people and give the #1 customer experience. Despite being unaware of the dystopian world she lives in which no humans remain in her city, she is always waiting at the front desk, ready to meet the next guest. She's like that one employee who strolls into the office on a Monday morning, all bright and cheerful, when everyone's running on an empty tank of gas and 4 cups of coffee.
Good morning, y'all. 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 Good morning, y'all.
2,000 years later.
Good morning, y'all.
The protagonist and Yumemi are often a treat together, as their widely conflicting personalities creates fun banter between the two of them. Well, more of a one-sided headache if anything. Over time, Yumemi does soften the protagonist up, making him go along with her whims about the planetarium, and it's heartwarming to see his tough personality warm up to the kind-hearted girl who still believes in humans. Yumemi is the heart of this visual novel, and her compassionate attitude really comes across here, affecting not only the main protagonist, but us, the readers. And it's what happens in the last couple of chapters that really strike at our hearts. We take what's granted, but sometimes we can never really know what's going on behind the scenes. That one person who walks into the office, wonderfully greeting others, may not be happy inside after all. Sure, it might be annoying and irritating, but we'll end up missing it when it's eventually gone. Don't expect a traditional ending to Planetarium. The ending is not an orthodox one, but a bitter one, and will make you sad and gloomy by the end of it. Planetarium presents a dystopian setting in which the protagonist is a product of the desolate state of the world, but throughout this visual novel, his interactions with Yumemi change him dramatically. In her tale, Yumemi shows the retrospective of human evolution, the possibilities of human civilization, and most importantly, the generosity of human compassion and selflessness. Overall, it's a great, slow read for a short, easy to pick up visual novel, where everything from its music to its visuals and to its writing just blends together wonderfully. Planetarium presents a touching view in contrast to its background setting, all from a girl who isn't human, but is the true idealism of humanity. I give Planetarium a 4 out of 5. Subscribe if you liked the video and want to see more. Check back every week for new content. For more of my thoughts and the most up-to-date news on videos, you can follow me on Twitter at TheAugustHale.